Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to this channel. I'm Tommy Chui. Today I'm going to discuss in details on total cost of ownership of a 24 years old BMW E36 328. But before I get there, please allow me to introduce my used car business for a moment. The brand is FATCAR. It doesn't mean that I'm really fat, although I used to be very fat. We are fed of our values: friendly, attentive, and trusted. This is what we live and breathe every day. If you want to look for a used car, a used premium car, please call the number over there, or you can visit us at our showroom in Kajang. You can search in Google where is our showroom and look at our reviews. We get very good reviews from our customers. Alright, this is the interesting part. So today, I'm going to discuss in details cost of ownership of this BMW 01 24 years old, and to spice things up a little bit, I'm comparing it with a newer car, which is equivalent or a fair comparison in terms of the class. And in terms of the class, a BMW is a C segment. The 328 is almost at the top of the range. The Honda Civic is a new car and it's a C segment from Japan, and it is top of the range. So a lot of people is going to tell you, do not buy a BMW. The maintenance is going to kill you. Or do not buy an old BMW because the maintenance is going to crush you. Buy a new car. And let me go into details, and then after this, you tell me, or you decide, or you put in the comment box, do you want to buy an old car, or second-hand car, or a new car? This is the details. Okay, let me start from the pricing. For a Honda Civic, new Honda Civic, it costs 134,000 ringgit, 661 ringgit in the showroom. The BMW costs 12,000 ringgit. This is the used car. The price is not fixed. It depends on who you buy from and what is the condition of the car. So sometimes you can get 10,000 ringgit, 12,000 ringgit, or 15,000 or 18,000 depending on which that you like, because all used car or every unit of used car is of different condition. None of them is the same. In Malaysia, if you want to get a bank loan for your car, you are required to pay 10% down payment. The 10% down payment would cost you 13,466. For the BMW, I do not need to get a loan, and I couldn't even get a loan because the bank do not give me loan for such an old car, which means that my down payment is 0. If you own a car over 5 years, you need to factor in the depreciations. And as the estimated resale value for the Honda Civic after 5 years is 80,000 ringgit. Right now, for a 2016 Honda Civic 1.5 Turbo, same model, similar model, is selling between 85 to 90,000, 90-ish in Muda or Kalis. So the dealer is going to take in max at about 80,000 ringgit. And this Honda Civic, if you buy today and you sell it 5 years down later, there will be a new model that will be introduced very soon, which makes that your current Honda Civic becomes an older model. When that happens, your resale value will be even lower after 5 years. So I am estimating your car would fetch between 65 to 75,000 over after 5 years if you buy it today. But for the BMW, it is such an old car, the price doesn't depreciate anymore. In fact, it might appreciate. If you look at the E30, the one generation older BMW than the E36, it is being sold at about 30,000 ringgit starting, all the way up to 60,000 ringgit depending on the condition and which one that you like to buy. If you take a bank loan, when you take a bank loan for the Honda Civic, 90% margin, and you are repaying over 5 years, your total interest work out to be 24,239. And with the BMW, I do not need to pay for interest because I'm not taking loan. So from this few calculation alone, let's go back to down payment. The down payment for the Honda Civic is already more expensive than the BMW itself. Ta-da! Let's go back to road tax. Obviously, the Honda Civic is a lot cheaper because it's a 1,500cc engine. It costs 90 ringgit a year for the road tax. For you guys that are not in Malaysia, FYI, Malaysia do not have, Malaysia road tax system is not friendly for big CC cars. They want people to buy small CC cars. That is what drives people away from big CC cars. And let's look at the BMW. It is 2,800cc and it costs about 1,600 ringgit per year. So over 5 years, it costs exactly 8,135 ringgit, which is a lot more than the Honda Civic, right? So this is the A point for the BMW. Let's look at the insurance. Insurance coverage or insurance premium is calculated based on the amount that you want to insure. Obviously, the Honda Civic is a lot more expensive than the BMW. You'll be paying 18,900 ringgit insurance premium over 5 years. And this is, I estimated without any NCD. For the BMW, because the car is so cheap, it costs 600 plus ringgit a year to insure. And it costs 3,290 ringgit over 5 years. Let's look at the next line, maintenance. This is the interesting topic. Everyone is going to tell you, a non-BMW driver is going to tell you that maintenance on a BMW is going to crush you. You're going to cry. You're going to go bankrupt with the BMW maintenance. It's true, it's true. It's expensive. Okay? Let's look at here. For the Honda Civic maintenance, I estimate it to be 7,500 ringgit over 5 years, which means about 1,500 ringgit per year. This, I've done a little bit of homework on the Honda maintenance schedule. I plus a little bit of wear and tear repair, wear and tear replacement, so it costs about 1,500. It could be plus or minus. If you're a Honda driver, you could correct me. You can comment in the comment box. Let's go to the BMW. It is expensive. I'm going to estimate that the BMW costs 4 times more to maintain than the Honda Civic. 30,000 ringgit over 5 years, it means 6,000 ringgit a year, which I think is very, very generous maintenance budget. Let me tell you, if you need to replace your engine for any reason because the robber came to your house and then he took the engine away, you lost the engine, it only costs you about 3,000 ringgit to replace the engine with labor. If your gearbox failed, it's going to cost you 3,000 ringgit, sorry, estimated to be 3,000 ringgit to replace the gearbox with labor. So if the engine costs 3,000 ringgit, do you think the maintenance for other parts is expensive? An alternator costs you between 300 to 400 ringgit, an aircon pump could cost you 500 ringgit. By the way, all these are used parts or recon parts. I'm not going to get new parts for this car unless anything that is affecting the safety of the car or anything that I couldn't get secondhand. So with 4 times more maintenance than the Honda Civic, it is costly, right? Yeah, it's obviously costly, and I've buffered it up by a lot more. I doubt that you will spend 30,000 ringgit over 5 years. It will be, I would expect to be a lot lower, but I'm just buffering it up. On the petrol itself, for the petrol itself, let's take a calculation of 20,000 kilometers. Let's take a calculation based on 20,000 kilometer travel per year. That's an average Malaysian driving behavior over here. They drive 20,000 kilometers a year. Average means you are not a super salesman that drives to Singapore and Penang in 1 day, and you are not the Grab driver. Average driver means you use your car to work every day, you send your kids to school, and over the weekend you go to marketing. So you go to the market, and then once in a while you go for outstation work or holiday. That's average Malaysian driver. So based on 20,000 kilometers that you need to travel a year, and based on the fuel consumption that the average fuel consumption of the Honda Civic, which is 8.6 liter per 100 kilometer. This is not highway only. This is a mixture of city driving and highways, you're going to consume 1,720 liters per year, which work out to be 3,526 ringgit per year at today's petrol price, 2 ringgit and 5 cents. In 5 years, you're going to, assuming that the petrol price remains the same, in 5 years, you're going to pay 17,630 ringgit in petrol itself, which is quite reasonable. When it goes to BMW, of course, it is a lot more. That's because it is a 2,800cc NA engine. 1,500cc and 2,800cc, you get what I mean, right? The 2,800cc is going to drink, by cc, it's going to drink like 2 times more. But over here, it's going to drink by 30 to 40% more. Let's look at the fuel that's going to consume by the BMW over 20,000 kilometers. So the BMW is going to consume 13.5 liter for every 100 kilometer. For a year, you need to pump in 2,700 liter. And that works out to be 5,535 ringgit a year in petrol cost, and over 5 years, 37,000 ringgit, 675 ringgit. I think this is all the costs that you need to factor in the total cost of ownership for one car when you are buying a car. Let's look at the final part. Total cost of ownership over 5 years. It costs you 123,380 ringgit to own a Honda Civic over 5 years. Is that a lot of money? For some people, if you are rich, it's more money. But to most ordinary Malaysian, this is a lot of money over 5 years. For the BMW, it's going to cost me 69,000 ringgit, 69,100 ringgit over 5 years to own the car. And can you see the big difference over here? The BMW is a lot cheaper to own than a brand new Honda Civic over 5 years. If you look at 10 years, it's even cheaper because the Honda Civic is going to depreciate a lot more over 10 years. If you want a reference on how the Honda Civic maintenance calculations, you can go to the Honda Malaysia website and you can download these sheets. Don't look at the total cost over here. Yeah, this is not accurate because they didn't factor in the engine oil and engine oil filter over here, and also brake pads. And I'm sure there are some plus stuff and stuff they're going to charge you over 5 years. The magic over here. When you own an old BMW, it's going to save you 54,000 ringgit to 54,280 ringgit over 5 years. What can you do with 54,000 ringgit? You can pay for a down payment for a double-story house somewhere around KL. Or you can go for one nice European holiday for your family every year. Or you can invest in stocks and you're going to make more money from the 54,000 ringgit. Or you can send your kids to college with 54,000 ringgit. You get me? So my task over here is to provide you with information on owning a used car so that you can make a sound decisions. That's not the end. I'm going to throw a bomb on this on this topic. Yeah, let's go for the next one. What if I compare with a Myvi, ownership of an old BMW with the car king right now, a Myvi? Are you kidding me? Owning a BMW is cheaper than a Myvi over 5 years? It might not be cheaper, but let's see what is the gap. This is a Myvi. I won't go in details, but I've done the calculations. So over 5 years, it's going to cost about 6,000 ringgit more expensive to own an old BMW than a Myvi. Okay? And it's not a fair comparison because Myvi is a really compact car and it's really from different category. But I'm just doing this for fun because Myvi is everyone's car right now. And let's remove the monetary discussion over here. owning a BMW is all about the experience, the safety, and it's really, really nice to drive. And if owning a BMW, if you get something that is cheerful and cheap, isn't it worth it? Okay, I think that's the end of my discussion. This is my used car lot. If you need any used car or you want to talk with someone about owning a used car, even without commitment to buy, come and talk with me. No worries. I would be glad to assist you or give you some advice. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.